it's Tracy Reed here, back with another 9x12 process video, and this is a photo of me and my bestie, and we happened to go somewhere with hot pink bathroom walls, so of course we had to take a selfie. If this video seems like it jumps around a little bit, I apologize in advance. A few videos that I did recently, the camera kept turning on and off and on and off and on and off, and it was really annoying. So this is one of those videos. It's not too crazy noticeable. I don't jump around too much, but I do have to keep turning the camera back on about every 3 to 4 minutes. So it is noticeable in some areas when I don't catch the fact that the camera turned off quite fast enough. So what I decided to do with this layout is I'm going to mat this blue paper on this pink paper. The pink paper will be 9x12 and the blue paper is probably 8x11-ish, somewhere around there. It's about an inch smaller all the way around. And then what I want to do is I want to incorporate some of this yellow, and I also have on the back of this pink paper a really beautiful black and white sort of viney leafy pattern. It's a crepe paper, and I initially wanted to use the black and white side, but it was just too overwhelming as a pattern in itself. So what I decided to do was to create a fold up so that that black and white can be seen in a nice little corner, but it doesn't overwhelm the page. So this is going to skip forward just a little bit here in a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this blue paper down, and then I'm just going to trim off the triangular corner part that is overlapping where I created that fold, and then that is where the video will skip forward to. So I'm just haphazardly, because it doesn't really matter as long as I get it on the other side of the fold. It doesn't really matter what it looks like in here because it's going to be covered up. So now I've got this fold ready to go, and I have to decide on the actual layout of this layout. I initially wanted to use this yellow paper. I wanted it to be not that long, but I wanted it to have a bit of a yellow sort of vertical space, but I can't end up making that work. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to decide what I want this corner to be, and I was thinking maybe the yellow, but I decided that I didn't like that. So instead, I'm going to do the pink side of this, and I like that a lot better. And then that incorporates all of the colors that I need it to incorporate to match that little card that I created in my DIY Your Scraps video. And also, I am matching the other side of this spread in my layout, or in my album, that has this same sort of color scheme going on. It is a pocket layout, sort of round up from January, and so it has these same colors. So that is kind of how I'm making my album cohesive. And I have one more video that needs to go up on my YouTube, and then I will do a flip through of January so you can see how that works. So I was on the struggle bus hardcore with this layout initially, trying to make it work, trying to make it lay out correctly. What I did was I knew that I wasn't going to be scrapbooking this photo for a little while when I initially printed it out to scrapbook. I knew that I wouldn't get to it quite yet. So what I did was I wrote down journaling on this journaling card and stuck it in the page protector with the photo so that the journaling, at least for this layout, would be done, and I had done the journaling like in the moment, so it wasn't stale sort of journaling. So that created a problem when I was creating this layout, because I had this 3x4 journal card, and what I'm learning is that these 3x4 journal cards with a horizontal photo, it just is not really awesomely conducive to great design on these 9x12 canvases, or at least not for me. I didn't plan it out well enough for it to work well, I guess. So I was struggling hardcore with trying to make that 3x4 journaling card work. And then initially that tag was on its own journaling card. So I basically had two 3x4 journaling cards plus this photo, which I think is like 3x5 or something like that, somewhere around there. So I was just it was not working. You can see me putting things down and shuffling things around, and I thought maybe I wanted the whole cluster of the photo and all that to be up higher than this corner, but that wasn't working. I just was like, why why is the struggle so real? So then I go down and I tuck the photo down here, and I like this composition better. We're getting there. It's looking a little bit better with this sort of grounded composition down here with this flap. But I'm still not loving all of this excess yellow paper, so I'm going to end up cutting off the yellow paper because it's just not going to work the way that I had hoped it would. And that's fine because I don't need that much yellow to make an impact. It doesn't like go with the photo in any way. It's just kind of drawing that yellow in on the tag and whatever yellow there is on the opposite page. So it was fine to sacrifice that yellow a little bit. So now I'm liking this composition a lot better, but I'm still, it's like that photo is just the journaling card was just too high. And so my camera cut out, so that was the big skip forward. I ended up cutting off the loving this part of that card and putting it above as an embellishment instead of attached to the card. And then I put the journaling down on the bottom, and I like that composition a lot better. I ended up pulling in that black and white heart paper from the Cocoa Daisy Simon and Betty kits, and now we're cooking with fire. Now I'm liking it. So I have all of these embellishments that I've pulled out, and I'm trying to make everything work, trying to decide which of these cute little icons I want to use, and I end up going with the sloth instead of the llama because it says I like hanging with you, and we were hanging out, so that was perfect. And it creates a nice little bridge up there in that cluster between the tag and that loving this. I really like that, while also echoing the heart in the loving this too. So I'm going to put these two word bits down, and I end up using that pink half circle with the heart that I have been trying to incorporate into everything. And I'm going to include some word bits. I initially pull out that tape and I don't end up using it, but this layout is about done. Again, I apologize for skipping forward a little bit. Whatever was wrong with my camera seems to have resolved itself. But if you enjoyed this video or this layout, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I would love to be besties there too. All right, after I get these down, this layout is done. Thank you.